Well, hello there. Welcome to the Obi Thorn Alliance. I'm Jacob,
And I'm Luke.
and in today's episode, we are discussing and very excited the end to What If Episode 9. What if the Watcher broke his oath? And I guess everything's connected now in this conclusion to episode 8. So, how do you like episode 9 connecting everything, Luke?
I'm kind of mixed about it. I liked the idea that what if each episode seemed to be unrelated and they were just scenarios, because most of the episodes finished with not even a conclusion. Like there was a battle, but we didn't see the final result, and that was fine. We just go, okay, well that's what happened. But we're now left with connecting them, which kind of confuses me. Like I think of an episode like when they became zombies. We didn't see them find a cure. The episode finished with them heading to Wakanda, but now we saw the zombies get brought back into this episode, and we go, oh well, like you've linked them, but you didn't give us an answer. Do we now need to go back and see the conclusion to each of those separate scenarios for it to link? I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think it works in a way, but I do agree with you in a way. I think it depends what your expectations going into the show, and do you want a storyline or do you want it to be more scenarios and seeing how they unfold in a different way to expectations of what we used to, and be like, oh, that was cool, and then kind of one-shot storylines. So I kind of liked that they connected it, but my kind of counter argument is that does everything always have to be connected? Can't things work out and kind of be singular storylines?
Yeah, I thought for once I liked the fact that they weren't connected. I was like, I thought it made it more interesting. But if they wanted to link them in, maybe in a different way, like maybe the Watcher recruited people from different multiverses that weren't already seen in previous episodes, I wouldn't have minded that because it would have been connected, but then it wouldn't have ruined the other storyline. Because now I want to know what happened. Like what happened after Peggy Carter went through and came out the other end. What happened with the zombies? Did they find a cure? I now need to know the end result of each scenario, where before I just accepted that we don't know. It's a what if, that's fine. But now that you've linked them, I want to know. You can't, now you re-bring those characters back in. And I guess the selection of characters is kind of a debating point. I guess before we go into that, maybe we'll quickly recap the episode if you want to tell us what happened in it.
Basically, from how episode 8 ended, Ultron is super powerful with the Infinity Stones, and the Watchers basically, I need to actually step in here. The multiverse is at jeopardy. So with Doctor Strange's help, what is the first connection with this storyline from episode 4. So Doctor Strange is his first recruit, and then what's kind of cool, we get to see different characters from the previous episode. So he recruits T'Challa as Star-Lord, he recruits Party Thor, he recruits Gamora, what out of all the other recruits is kind of debatable if Gamora needed to be...
And she hadn't been in the previous episodes either. Just pulled her out of nowhere.
And Killmonger, what was a pretty cool recruit. And yeah, that's pretty much all the recruits. And also Peggy Carter as well. And I pretty much like all the recruits. I was questioning, out of all the recruits, I kind of agree with what you said. Wouldn't it make kind of different sense to kind of see alter versions of, like, you know, Thor, like different characters. It felt I definitely do question Gamora because I don't know.
Yeah, I think we could have, instead of bringing in characters we already had seen, which now add more context to their episodes, we could have just seen a whole new set of people that he handpicked. Like he could have picked, I don't know, like it could have been what if scenarios we didn't know yet. It could have been like, oh well, in this scenario, I don't know, Tony Stark's dad becomes Iron Man ahead of his time or something, and they pick him, and then they pick, I don't know, just some more what if scenarios, because now it's all linked, and we question what season 2 is going to be about. I'm not saying it was bad. It's just I thought it conflicted what they'd set up previously. So finishing off the recap, what Ultron
basically shows up, and then they basically got to take him down, and then they talk about we got to get the Infinity Stones, and then use this machine that Gamora has. And they basically that's basically their plan, and then they travel around the multiverse, and then they end up on the same planet that Ultron was originally on, and then we get to see Black Widow from the episode 8, so we get to see all that unfold.
Yeah, so we have some pretty epic battle scenes. I thought it really reminded me of like a Dragon Ball Z style battle scene. They all fight in a way against Ultron and take turns at taking him down. We get to see that Doctor Strange is just ultimately powerful, basically. Casts spells and can multiply things and can alter time and make portals. He's kind of almost too powerful.
This version is, yeah.
I've always thought that about Doctor Strange, that he's just really smart and he read some books and that now gave him magical powers. I don't know, don't buy it really. So we have that, and then ultimately the plan they had set out in the previous episode that they were gonna take him down in the last episode using this virus, which was one of the guys from Hydra.
Yeah.
And ultimately that's how they end up doing it this time, through Black Widow harnessing her inner Hawkeye and hitting him square in the eye whilst riding a motorcycle, jumping across buildings, and that in the end takes him down. But it's not over. We're left with one final twist.
Basically, pretty much the reason why Killmonger was recruited is because the Watcher knows that he's gonna betray them and take the power for himself, and then basically he's in a fight with the virus from Hydra that has taken command of Ultron, and they basically lock horns, and then basically the Watcher kind of puts them in this animation of time and kind of portal, and basically that solves it there. So kind of the main problem I see with this scenario is that you make your main villain Ultron super powerful, and then in episode 9, I don't know if you feel the same, Luke, he just feels weak in this episode. Like it's cool how you get all of your heroes together, but at the end of the day it feels very anticlimactic. Like I think the problem is that Ultron, I don't know if you noticed, Luke, he had so many minions in episode 8, and then it's so that's kind of the problem. It's like they make him out to be very powerful, and then it's like he doesn't bring any reinforcements, because I know he's super powerful and cockiness is a problem as well, but
well, if he's meant to have Jarvis inside him, he's meant to be this extremely smart, created being, you think he would have been smart enough to foresee his own downfall and predicted it and been able to prevent it. And I guess the fact that Doctor Strange could create these spells that was able to protect all the others. So he's powerful, but not powerful enough to beat Doctor Strange's spells. But I guess the same as with all the other episodes. It's a what if scenario. It's what like we thought they were just one individual episodes, and you go, well, that scenario is not too bad because we don't have to see the end of it or we won't hear from it again. But
there's a season 2.
Well, now this changes everything. Now that they've linked the episodes in, do we now look back at the other episodes and go, those ones I said were okay because it's just a what if? Do we go, well, it's not a what if anymore because they've linked it and it's more important, so are they stupid? Got to rethink the whole show. Okay, what nitpicks or other issues you got with this episode?
I guess the major problem is that it very much feels like out of all of the superheroes that did the job in the end, but I guess it makes sense for episode 8, but I feel like the problem is that you recruit these heroes, and I was personally hoping that Star-Lord was going to do it to T'Challa because, as we know, the actor passed away. I think it would have been a good send-off for the character, but no, it's Black Widow, and also Black Widow defeated Loki. It felt too much Black Widow. I don't know, that's definitely a nitpick for mine.
Yeah, and I think the characters they chose, it's like, well, what does Thor offer? Like Party Thor? Like he seems like a wasted use of all the Thors they could have got in the universe. T'Challa is Star-Lord. I guess he's probably more powerful as Black Panther than he is as Star-Lord, because as Star-Lord he's just he just has a jetpack and a gun, really. Warmonger, I guess that he had a larger purpose for him. Peggy Carter, like, guess they felt that she was more powerful than Steve Rogers was as Captain America. Otherwise, wouldn't you just get Captain America? I don't know. I think it's an interesting selection, and maybe it's got something to do with not wanting to affect the movies too much. Like,
I would assume so. Yeah.
I guess if you pick the main characters out of the movies, then do people start to question which one's correct and which one's not?
Yeah.
So they try to pick none of the main characters, really. But in saying that, why did Thor make the cut?
Yeah.
Like Thor still has movies coming out. Like, why are we not? Does it not affect it? I don't know. There's a bigger picture that we'll probably never know the answer to.
Did you find it strange that how they used Captain Marvel, and this would have been a perfect episode to actually use Captain Marvel? It just felt waste. Like,
yeah, out of all the people he could have picked, he didn't pick her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very strange choice. In the end, they won, or so we think. We're still left not understanding who the Watcher is, and is the Watcher the same as Kang, or is Kang different to the Watcher? I guess, or is the Watcher a variation of Kang, but Kang the Conqueror is a bad version of Kang? I don't know. I guess they're things we find out more. Do you have any other nitpicks?
I guess that Ultron did so much in episode 8, and then in episode 9 it just felt so... It felt too very easy and undeserving, if I got to be honest. Like, in episode 8 was so epic and so... And then in episode 9 it's like, oh, this arrow just defeats him.
No, I agree. There's a few interesting things about this, and obviously we're going to continue to talk about What If. We're going to record a full season review, and which will be interesting. And we're going to we'll do a ranking. I thought the ranking would be easy to do because I thought the episodes are all unrelated, but now that they were related, it makes the ranking a bit more interesting. So we'll see how we go with that. But episode 9, any final thoughts on it?
I think it's obviously it does a cool thing with, showing that all the episodes meant something, but did it need to? Like, it's very much a a mixed bag. Like, I feel very mixed between all the other episodes. Like, I think episode 8 was on such a high, and then episode 9 just made it, overall, it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think some of the episodes throughout the season were really cool concepts, and then I think the thing they decided to link it all together, for me, wasn't as cool as some of the individual episodes.
Mm.
And I guess when we rank them, I'll be able to talk about that a bit more.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thank you for helping, Luke. Comment down below if you agree or disagree, if you liked the episode more or didn't. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Let the force be with you. Bye-bye.